I'm here with Dayo with Medical Ambassadors International. He's the Regional Director of CHE in West Africa.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
From my understanding, the way CHE works is it's a tiered structure where you have CHE trainers that work with community elders and community leaders to provide home studies. Is that kind of a summary?
Yes. We have what we call the three basic elements that are involved with CHE program. We have the trainers, who are usually people who are either resident in the community or people who come from outside of the immediate community. And they are these people that work with the leaders in the community, sensitize them about what development is and how they can go about it using their own local resources. So that's the first element. The second element is the community committee. These are people chosen by the community elders to be responsible for the development of their own communities. And these people, we as trainers come into these people that have been selected, we train them on the principles for managing developmental programs. And then after they have gone through that training, they go to the third element, which we call the community workers, or what we call the CHEs. So these are also another set of people within the community that are the actual workers in the developmental program. So when we have a program, we have the set of people who do the training, we have the set of people who do the management, and the last set of people who do the execution.
You mentioned CHE in the communities. How does a CHE trainer working in a community, how do they change the community or change the lives of the individuals in the community?
We look at things like their health needs, and we try to walk through the CHEs to let them understand that they have to prioritize what is their health needs. And as they prioritize the health needs, we bring in our trainers to train them about the issue. For example, if there's malaria problem in the community, we train them on malaria prevention, we train them about malaria treatment, we train them even about what causes malaria. And then these children take what is called, these workers, they take what is called the picture booklets. They take these picture booklets to the homes and they teach family by family. So as they teach these different families, what we find out is that the families understand better, they're able to ask questions, and they are able to apply those things that they've been taught in their lives. And as they do that, we begin to see changes in the homes. We have programs like treating water. We teach them what is called the Sodis water, where people are taught to use the sunlight to purify water, and then every home is taught how to do that. What we find out is that the homes no longer drink dirty water, they no longer get sick because of water, because they have been taught that in their homes and they understand it. So this is how we have what is called community transformation.
You've mentioned a lot about development. In the United States, we're very familiar with sending relief to the mission field, taking clothes or taking things and handing them out. How is the development that you're talking about, CHE, different than the relief that we're so accustomed to trying to provide to developing countries in the mission field?
Well, one of the major things that need to be considered when we are giving relief is that, first of all, the people themselves do not sufficiently appreciate it, because they see it, they receive it, and they use it for just a short time. And what happens is that they come back to you later and say, we need more. And so it gets to a point where the giver gets fed up and says, well, I can't continue to give this to you. You've got to think about how to find yours. So our program encourages development, which is using the local resources as much as you can. And so instead of the West sending us money for building, we have the soil. We can spread that money over many projects, rather than just giving us money for one building, and then you find out that we put up the structure, then we come back to you and say, okay, now we need money for the teachers. And then you give us the money for teachers, and we say, okay, now we need money for maintaining the teachers. So it goes on and without end. But with relief, what happens, with development, what happens is that once we sit down and we look at what we have in our local resources, the demand on you will reduce, because we are using our available resources.